I like that. Why wouldn't you soul transfer the Chandra? Heroes are gonna do some serious horrendousness. Let's make some mana. Take 1,000 damage. Nice defense for Chandra Bobandra. I mean, alternately, we could have Duress them, but what are they really going to do? With lethal on either card. We have 2 cards, we have 2 lethal threats. One of which has Ward. Hey everybody! Michael J. Flores. What have I got in front of me? It is the Champs deck. It is the deck that not only won the recent Pro Tour, but put 4 Handshake friends into the top 8 of that Pro Tour. It is Rakdos. So clearly this must be the ultimate deck to play on Magic the Gathering Arena. If it was good enough to crush the Pro Tour, win the Pro Tour, dominate half the top 8, surely it must be the best deck you could possibly play on the standard ladder. Well, let me tell you a story. I thought that maybe Nathan Steuer, the champ, the reigning world champ, wins the Pro Tour. I loaded up this deck 75 out of 75. I'm going to be like Nathan. I go in, lose my first roll. My opponent goes Mountain, Monastery, Swiftspear, and I shake my head. This is not built for this metagame. This deck was built to be played by people who had winning records after the limited portion of the Pro Tour. I can tell you that right now. This is not built to play against a random distribution of arena opponents. It has glaring flaws. And those flaws mostly have to do with the fact that this deck is known. So prior to the Pro Tour, this deck wasn't necessarily known, and what was special about it wasn't necessarily known, but everybody knows what those things are now. So one of the fastest reactions to this deck, at least as far as I saw playing on the ladder, was that people just went bigger, right? So you're playing, Chandra into Invoke Despair is the top end of what you're doing. Other people are playing Breach into Etali, right? So are those cards better? No, they're different. They also cost more mana, but this is not a deck that is fast at closing a game out. This is a deck with main deck Duress. Doesn't deal any damage, right? This is a deck that only has 2 Graveyard Trespassers instead of 4. It is not getting in for the strongest swings, right? So the opponent is getting a little bit of time here in order to play 7s over your 5s and 6s, right? So it can be beaten from the top. Also, the 5-color domain deck is relatively popular online. The 5-color domain deck was built to beat mid-range decks, including Rakdos, so you can be beaten from on top. But the problem is that you can also be beaten from below. This deck has only 3 cutdowns. It has main deck Duress. Duress is one of the best cards ever printed. It has been popular since it was printed in 1998 in Urza's Saga. I personally have won tons and tons of matches with Duress in my main deck since the 1990s. It is not a popular main deck card predominantly today because if your opponent's playing second turn Thalia, first turn Monastery Swiftspear, second turn Thalia, right, anything along those lines, or Venerated Rot Priest, things like that. Duress, as efficient as it is and how disruptive as it is not very good at protecting you from the battlefield once it's already started to develop. So this deck can be angled from below. It only has 2 Graveyard Trespassers. This is one of the best anti-beatdown creatures in the format. And it only has 3 cutdowns, so people can come up this way. People who are 7s, above your 5s and 6s. Neither one of those things is a great spot to be in if you're this deck. So I can tell you, I think it's too good for the ladder. The question is it going to be too good for the standard event we're going to put it into? And I can tell you, we post a lot of standard event videos, and we tend to do pretty well. 5 wins, 7 wins or something. I don't know, man. I don't know about it. This deck is an artifact of amazingness for having won the Pro Tour by having dominated half of the top 8 of that Pro Tour, but it's angleable. It is exploitable from both above and below, and hopefully we don't see that. Maybe we will. Only one way to find out. I will see you in a second. Standard event. Let's go. This deck is too good for the ladder. But is it too good for events? This hand is a keeper. So, probably going to go Blackcleave, Bloodtithe Harvester, Haunted Ridge, unless something else comes up that's better. Alternately, we could have led on Reckoner Bankbuster. Get in for 4, maybe? I'm okay with this. Topiary Stomper. Card that does not currently have any text. This could be bad for heroes, right? So the deck in front of us, probably some version of the deck that's been rocking and rolling on Magic Online. Very similar to the top 8 domain deck played by Olsen at the Pro Tour. Good news is we're going to get at least one activation off of Reckoner Bankbuster and then launch consecutive Invoke Despairs. Bad news is if they get their game, we're in trouble. Ossification. That's kind of bad because then we're going to get a little less oomph out of our Invoke Despair. Could have been worse. So if they had gotten Invasion of Zendikar there, then we would have been pretty behind, I think. They would have been able to attack it. I'll play Mountain here, hold the Takenuma for potential future value. I'm going to get an attack in, I think. This is real dodgy. They could... they're not at kind of any of their big 7s mana yet. Archangel of Wrath. Gain 2. Alright, what do we do here? I guess this is our best play. Best play, worst card. I don't think Cut Down has much text in this matchup. We can get a couple of good activations off of Graveyard Trespasser. Obviously, Sheoldred is going to be a banger. Atraxa. Uh-oh. Well, they're at 6. We haven't seen a go for the throat yet. Straight up hardcast Atraxa, am I right? What do we got? Itali, Sunfall. I think we're dead. Can we deal 4? That was not a very good pull. That was not a very good pull. That was the worst. So this is going to put them to 5. They're going to get back up to 12 in a second. And then probably play Itali. I think we're like in no way out position pretty soon. Ugh, just hard cast Atraxa. That we didn't even have like a great draw. What do we do? We need like just 2 go for the throats. It's not bad. What do they turn over? Well, we needed that go for the throat. We needed that go for the throat. 2 cut downs. Oh, man. Those were 2 go through the throats instead. We would have won easily. We're dead to their battlefield. Put up like a cursory block with Sheoldred. They have a Leyline Binding. This will do something, right? Maybe we'll draw a Go for the Throat off of this Invoke Despair. Dead in 2. Actually, we'll cancel this. They'll put us to 7. They'll go up to 15. Not dead yet. We've cast 3 Invoke Despairs, though. We've cast 3 Invoke Despairs and might lose the game. Okay. This card sucks also. Yep. We were already dead on board, so even more dead on board. Bankbuster. We have an Abrade for that. That's the least of our worries. Auto pay. Ugh. Go for the throat, finally. Alright, we're not dead yet. Archangel will put us to 2, but 2 is not 0. So on this, maybe we get an attack in. I don't know if they're just gonna throw a Leyline Binding on this or what. Okay, what can we do here? We have 4 mana. I'm not sure. We have 5 mana, actually. I'm not sure if the right play is Sheoldred or Abrade. Like, this doesn't kill us. I mean, if it's Sheoldred, then they just use the Leyline Binding before we get to play. Alright, I'll do this now. That Archangel's presumably going to put us to 2. Traxa. Oh boy, everything fantastic. Can we can't plausibly close them out, right? We've used 3 of our 4 Invoke Despairs already. Each of these almost is going to warrant a Go for the Throat or an Invoke Despair. I guess if we had, you know, we can like draw Chandra, play Chandra. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana. So we can Chandra and then use Chandra's turn over 5 cards ability to get ourselves in a position where we can kill both of the creatures in play. That's presuming they don't kill us with just an Archangel of Wrath. Because this will put us to 2, and then they can kick us to the face. Archangel? any plays. We can... If we want to blow our treasure, we can discard now. I don't think I'm going to... Maybe it's worth blowing treasure, actually. We have plenty of mana. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. That's not what we needed. Did somebody say blow treasure? Almost no way to win here. Let's assume we can win. Have to take Herd Migration, right? But we can't win. We can't win. We're just dead to an attract, so we don't have an answer for. Oh, 1 to start. That was a bad loss. The opponent did nothing spectacular for their deck. Just Topiary Stomper straight into Atraxa. Our curve is actually all right. I mean, we didn't have Fable on turn 3. I guess Bankbuster's pretty good in this matchup, but we didn't have Chandra. How do you complain? We cast 3 freaking Invoke Despairs and didn't win. Alright, hopefully Nathan's deck is going to help us out with some lands, because this deck has a ton of lands. Zeotor's Proving Ground. Rockfall Vale. So it's probably Jund. This deck could be, you know, Zeotor's Proving Ground can be like Jim Davis's deck, but I think this is Jund. What the heck is this? Samut, Vizier of Naktamoon. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature enters the battlefield, draw a card. What? This card's great. That card is straight up great. What do we do? I guess we'll play this. This is a real card? I've never seen this card in my life. So this is going to draw a card now? This is first strike, right? So no blocks on this. Draw a card here. Discard up to 2 cards. This guy. This guy's a 4-power Trampler. You get +2. So, I guess if you have, like, all hasters, this is awesome. That's Terabad. Good thing we didn't discard our other Sheoldred. I will do this. Can't get them both. Give me land deck. Take that, Samut. Alright. Are we stabilized? We still have 10 life. They have 6 cards in hand because they drew so many extra cards because they're stupid guys. Alright, whenever this... Surveil. I'm not scared of this guy. No blocks. Treasure, I guess. Alright, land is great. 6 sucks.
Plan? Fire doesn't need a plan.
Actually, what if we did this? No, I'm not going to do that. Here and here. 3 to each. Leaf back Reflection of Kiki Jiki to defend Chandra. Although if they have one of their trampling guys, it's not going to do too much defense. Olivia the Crimson Blade. Man. So many card drawing. So that'll put us to almost dead, I guess. This guy doesn't trample, though. Okay. Enough of this nonsense. Sheoldred. I'll make 2 black.
Fuel up. I'm ending this fight.
Alright, so hopefully this will keep us alive. We can discard with this blood to give us 2 life if need be. Although I like both of the cards we have in hand. Rankle and Torbrand. Flying first strike haste. Whenever Rankle and Torbrand deals combat damage to a player or battle, choose any number. Well, that's not going to happen, so... Not going to happen, Rankle and Torbrand. Alright, I guess you draw 2 cards. It's better than me taking lethal damage and you drawing 2 cards. Am I right or am I right? 0. I think they have a lot of spells. I don't think so. Shakedown heavy. Tyrannix Rex. Alright, how do we deal with that? So, how much does this cost? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need them to we need them to just not have it or we're dead. Maybe we can get something sweet. Like if we get the fireball, maybe we're just missing? What are you doing to me, Chandra? Okay. None of these guys have haste except for Tyrannus Rex. Tyrannus Rex will trample over 3, so we can live if we leave Sheoldred up. And that's going to be our plan then. So, first things first, we're going to discard this to gain 2 life. That's going to put us to 7. Block here. Trample over for 3. We live. And I think we've got the game.
No turning back now.
Whew. Well, that was pretty cool. Our deck was awesome. But we, I guess, just had Chandra in play and drew a bunch of go for the throat against a deck with a bunch of creatures. That's the science of Magic. Nighttime, get it? It's clever. Blackcleave Cliffs to open. This is the classic kind of hand that people lie to themselves about, where they're like, oh, it doesn't matter if I play Blackcleave Cliffs or Swamp on the first turn. It matters in the long run. It matters in the long run, friends. Like, what if you drew 2 consecutive Blackcleave Cliffs and you played Swamp on the first turn? Then one of your Blackcleave Cliffs would have come into play tapped on turn 3 or later. Ergo, it matters. Fable of the Mire. I hate doing that. We're like dead even right now. 4 cards to 4 cards, Fable to Fable. We've got a Goblin Shaman, they don't. We can probably answer our Goblin Shaman. Doesn't look like they're going to have Invoke before we do. They're just going to pitch on this blood. That would be savage for us. Mikey with likey. Shake down heavy. It's a good card. think I need another one of these. Nathan's deck has so much land. Yep, I was correct on that play. So we can attack here, lose the Goblin Shaman. I'm not going to do that. Let's kill this. Actually, a better play would have been to attack with Goblin Shaman and then cast... Go for the throat before blockers were declared. Alright, we're in great shape right now. Like, we can cast Chandra, and or we can cast Invoke Despair next turn. Either play would be sweet. Fight rigging, sure. I think the play here is Chandra, the Reflection for 3, bide our time for a double Invoke Despair in a future turn. I think that is the right play.
Well, someone had to save the day.
So we get like 5 damage in this way. They don't have a creature for fight rigging.
Should be enough.
All right, down to 13. I mean, our battlefield is probably enough to win the game if they don't deal with Chandra. Or, like, I guess they could go off with fight rigging. Like, they could play a creature that triggers fight rigging and then have, like, a Tyrannus Rex or something. That would be pretty bad for heroes. Brotherhood's End. A hell of a turn.
We'll just have to try again.
We take the same play. Well, let's see. We have 5. Let's see. This is 5, 6. Yeah, I think same play is the right play.
Well, someone had to save the day.
So as long as they don't have a haster, I think we're in good shape. Or like it's a creature that will immediately trigger fight rigging. I like that. Why wouldn't you soul transfer the Chandra? Heroes are gonna do some serious horrendousness. Let's make some mana.
Is it wisely? Fight with your heart.
Take 1,000 damage. Nice defense for Chandra Bobandra. I mean, alternately, we could have Duress them, but what are they really going to do? Lethal on either card. We have 2 cards, we have 2 lethal threats. One of which has Ward. Alright. That first game was not the best, but we're battling back. The Champ's deck now playing like a champion. Like Le Champion. Alright, keep this draw. Blackcleave Cliffs. So we're probably going to play Bloodtithe Harvester unless they make us do something else. Underdog. Sorry, MTGA burped for a second. I didn't even consider this play because I was busy restarting MTGA. I think that that's right. What we would not want is... Yeah, what they just did. Oh, maybe they're not making their land drop, though. Alright. Fabulous. We're obviously probably going to pitch this Light Up the Night so that we can get mana for Sheoldred. Our whole hand is awesome, though. That's the worst possible situation for us. No block. Well, think we still pitch this. Sheoldred. Let's see what they've got. I mean, they're playing Sheoldred's Edict. Go for the throat. Predictable-ish. Probably attack with both. We do not have a great counterplay. I'm going to take the 5 here, which I'm not in love with. Okay, that's this. An attack here. Don't have enough. I mean, alternately, we can just cast 2 Go for the Throats, right? Cast this. I think I'm going to just block the Tenacious Underdog with Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Take 4. Or that. How awkward. So awkward. That was so bad. We're at 4 life versus a Tenacious Underdog. Alright, we're going to leave this up for defense. Let's see how we can dig out of this. If they just draw a Sheoldred, we're in trouble. 3 cards to basically half a card. Wedding Announcement. Least of our worries. Liliana of the Veil. Sure.
Something suspicious is going on. For once, it's not my fault. One of your friends has to leave.
So awkward. So they'll block here just to prevent us from being able to kill Liliana with the Reckoner Bankbuster. This is tricky. If they draw a Graveyard Trespasser, they can kill us this turn with... They have to have a land and a Graveyard Trespasser. I'm going to do this now. Gain life. Oh, so awkward. Can make us discard the Bloodtithe Harvester now. I think maybe it was right to just play the land. Sheoldred. Ambitious farmhand.
Drop it.
I don't know how we can win this game. I'm going to start by getting rid of their Sheoldred, right? But we've used 2 Go for the Throats already. Sheoldreds are staying semi-even. They can mess us up pretty badly, honestly.
I have bigger views. Isn't how things were supposed to go. I've always hated it.
Should we have crewed? It doesn't matter from a damage perspective. Underdog is dead. No, we are not dead. I don't know how we can live, but we're not dead. So, force block here. Let's put us to 1. And draw a Sheoldred. How did this game go so wrong? And cut down isn't even good anymore. Because wedding announcement flipped. Everything's terrible. I think that's it, friends. So that'll die, and then we block there, take 2, and we're dead. Terrible. Where did it all go wrong? Where did it all go wrong? I think it started with that awkward turn where we were forced to kill the Graveyard Trespasser with Go for the Throat. I did not want to do that. I wanted to kill the Tenacious Underdog with Go for the Throat and then Invoke Despair, the Graveyard Trespasser. But I guess that wasn't in the cards for us. We're still in it. We're still in it. This hand could suck, but Bloodtithe Harvester can help us cycle through cutdowns. It's the first time in my life that I was wishing for soldiers. But luckily, them being soldiers gives our cards text. I'm going to need the blood to get rid of the stupid Duress that I just drew. So, when we talk about this deck being too good for the ladder, like too good for arena in general, this is what we're talking about. Cards are just straight up not good against the middle of the metagame. Right, like, this is like the uber mediocre deck. You could Alright. I guess I just don't know anything about anything anymore. I guess I should have Duress because it had text against Spell Pierce that I didn't know was in this deck, and I would have had a Fable. What do I know? Should I Duress now? I'm for sure this is gonna miss. Soul Partition. I guess it didn't miss. Fabulous. Oh, this isn't soldiers at all. Security bypass. Not soldiers at all. So they might play Illuminator Virtuoso, and we might kill it. That would be great. I was so fooled by their Skrelv. What a joyful sitch. Why mess? Why mess with anything? So we know they have a security bypass and something else. Alright, I'll take those. I guess Duress was great. I guess I completely misassessed what deck I was playing against. Alright, 2 more wins for the break-even. Then after that, we can still keep hunting. Maybe we'll get a play-in point. Not a great hand. Gotta tell you, this is not a great hand. But I'm Mike Flores, and I just played a mountain, so our opponent might not put us on the proper color. Oh, this looks like a 5-color ramp deck. In which case, we might just be dead already. Yep. So, in our first roundabout today, we were browned by a 5-color ramp deck. We were singed. We were a tasty dinner. We drew the wrong kind of removal card. Trespasser. So we need them to... So what's their best play? Land invasion? Yeah, and they attack the invasion. Topiary Stomper into Invasion is quite the 2-card combo. No block. Let's see how this goes. Light this up. It'll die, hopefully. Then, you know, presuming they don't do anything, we can try to invoke next turn. Kill the Stomper, but that means they didn't do anything. They have 5 cards in hand. Invasion of Alara. Well, it's just going to be a guy, right? Also, there's no guarantee we can even cast the Invoke. What a joyful game. Land? No. Alright, this isn't the end of the world. It's probably the end of the world. I can't see us realistically winning this game. Like, they can just hard cast Titan of Industry here. Is this even good? No block. Awaken the Maelstrom. I wonder if the target player going to choose to draw 2 cards is them or us. He chose them. What permanent will they copy? I think it's going to be Topiary Stomper. That was correct. They have enough to cast the Titan. 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like it. We're just gonna like eat an ossification. That's terrible. Maybe they just won't cast it. Maybe they're just gonna kill our guy. That's not the worst thing in the world. We're dead to their battlefield already. No help. 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough to do anything interesting. Alright, let's give it a roll. What else are you going to do, am I right? Maybe a little sacrifice the token, then we can abrade the Topiary Stomper. I played right. We're just going to cast a Titan of Ministry here. It's going to be all she wrote for Michael J. No help. Okay, post-game wrap. How did we do? Disappointingly, 3-3. I can tell you that was not the first standard event that, that I tried with this deck. If I had gotten to 5 wins or 7 wins, I would have posted probably those results. I played it a couple of times, and about 3 wins or 4 wins each time. Like I said, I think in the beginning, I don't feel like this is a great deck to play on ladder or just in events on arena. This is much more a deck that will perform better in a winner's metagame if you can predict what your opponents are playing. If you're one of the best players in the world and you expect to have like a 2-1 or a 3-0 or better ranking after the limited portion, this seems like a deck that can exploit a metagame by playing main deck Duress, by playing a little bit more land and going deeper that way. But if you are just entering the monkey cage, you are going to get a lot of banana peels thrown at you, and 3 cut down, 2 Graveyard Trespasser might not cut it, or you have maniacs coming at you from above, and those guys are, 4 Archangel of Wrath, Topiary Stomper straight into Invasion of Zendikar. Attack! Right? Like, that deck is so much bigger than what this deck can do. You can get it from above. You can get it from below. You're just squeezed. This is not a good deck for taking on all comers. I think we saw some of the things that can exploit it from each direction in that event. But lesson learned, there are a lot of fun decks to play in Standard. This deck is amazing for what it accomplished. I just don't think the time is right for it anymore for the average person to play. But what is amazing for you to do is to get Chandra Hope's Beacon anyway, right? And so Chandra Hope's Beacon is a great card. Just because this isn't necessarily the best deck to play it in, it is still a great card. And if you want to order some on paper, you know where you can do that, CoolStuffInc.com. And while you're there, if you use promo code Flores, Flores, you could get 5% off of Chandra Hope's Beacon or anything at CoolStuffInc.com. And 5 with Flores is how much loyalty Chandra starts with. How about that? Numerology. Cool Stuff Inc. Promo code Flores. Love Mike.